Right now, there's a family somewhere in the world passing down their third-generation business to their children. The kids already know how to manage money, invest wisely, and build wealth, not because they're naturally gifted, but because they were taught these principles from the moment they could count. Here's what shocked me when I first discovered this. Jewish families represent less than 0.2% of the global population, yet they account for over 20% of Nobel Prize winners and hold disproportionate wealth across generations. This isn't about genetics, it's not about luck, and it's definitely not some conspiracy theory. It's about 7 timeless wealth principles that have been tested through thousands of years of economic ups and downs, persecution and rebuilding. Principles that anyone can learn and apply starting today. Today, you're about to discover why these ancient wisdom principles are more relevant than ever in 2025. Let's dive in. 1. Wealth is a sacred responsibility, not a selfish pursuit. Here's where most people get wealth completely wrong. They think wanting money makes them greedy. In Jewish tradition, wealth isn't seen as the root of all evil. It's seen as a tool for good. The concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world, teaches that financial success creates the ability to help others and improve society. This mindset shift changes everything. When you believe wealth is a responsibility, you approach money differently. You don't feel guilty about earning more. You don't sabotage your own success. You see financial independence as a way to serve others better. Warren Buffett, who comes from this tradition of wealth as responsibility, has pledged to give away 99% of his wealth. But here's the key. He built the wealth first, then gave it away. He didn't stay poor to stay noble. Sophia, a client of mine, struggled with this for years. She felt guilty every time she negotiated a higher salary or invested in herself. Once she shifted her mindset to, the more I earn, the more I can help others, she doubled her income in 18 months and now supports 3 families in her community. The lesson: give yourself permission to build wealth. It's not selfish, it's strategic generosity. 2. Education is the ultimate inheritance. Here's a statistic that will blow your mind. Jewish people represent 0.2% of the global population, but have won 22% of all Nobel Prizes since 1901. This isn't coincidence. It's culture. In Jewish households, education isn't just encouraged, it's considered the one thing that can never be taken away. Throughout history, when Jewish communities faced persecution and had their property confiscated, their knowledge and skills traveled with them. But here's what's different about their approach to education. It's not just formal schooling. Jewish families create a culture of lifelong learning. Children are encouraged to question everything. Debates and discussions are family traditions. Learning is seen as a form of worship and self-improvement. Books and knowledge are valued over material possessions. While others are buying their kids the latest gadgets, wealth-building families are investing in language learning programs, financial literacy courses, entrepreneurship camps, critical thinking workshops. David from Seattle transformed his family's approach to education. Instead of spending $500 monthly on entertainment, he invested in online courses, books, and educational experiences for his kids. His 12-year-old son now understands compound interest better than most adults. The principle: education is the only investment that pays dividends for life. Make it a family priority. 3. Financial literacy starts with piggy banks, not paychecks. Most parents avoid talking about money with their kids. They think it's too complicated, too stressful, or just not appropriate. Jewish families take the opposite approach. They use a simple but powerful system, the 5-jar method. Every time a child receives money, whether it's allowance, birthday gifts, or payment for chores, they divide it into 5 categories. Tzedakah, charity, 10% for helping others. Savings, 20% for future goals. Investing, 20% for long-term growth. Learning, 10% for education and self-improvement. Spending, 40% for immediate wants. This creates several powerful habits. Money management becomes automatic. Children understand delayed gratification. Giving becomes a natural part of financial planning. Investing is normalized from an early age. Rachel implemented this system with her 8-year-old daughter. Within 6 months, her daughter had saved enough money to buy her own bike and had started asking questions about what makes money grow. She's now 16 and has built a $3,000 portfolio from her part-time job earnings. The insight. Financial habits formed in childhood determine adult wealth patterns. Start early, start simple, but start. 4. Community wealth creates individual prosperity. Here's something that might surprise you. Jewish communities have some of the lowest bankruptcy rates in the world. Why? Because they've mastered the art of community wealth building. The principle is simple. When the community thrives, everyone thrives. Here's how it works in practice. Business support systems. When someone opens a business, the community becomes their first customers. This creates a powerful economic multiplier effect. Knowledge sharing. Successful business owners mentor younger entrepreneurs. Skills and strategies are shared freely within the community. Financial safety networks. Communities establish loan funds and mutual aid societies. Members contribute when they can and borrow when they need to. Economic resilience. When one person faces financial hardship, the community steps in with job opportunities, business partnerships, or temporary support. In Orthodox Jewish communities in New York, the business networks are so strong that young entrepreneurs can access mentorship, funding, and customers all within their community. This creates a 90% business survival rate compared to the national average of 50%. Marcus applied this principle in his hometown. He started a monthly meetup for local business owners, created a skill-sharing network, and established a small business loan fund. Within 2 years, his community had launched 15 new businesses and created over 200 jobs. The strategy: build wealth with others, not just for yourself. Your network becomes your net worth. 5. Resilience is the ultimate competitive advantage. Jewish history is a masterclass in resilience. Faced with persecution, exile, and economic barriers throughout history, Jewish communities have consistently adapted, rebuilt, and thrived. This has created a unique relationship with failure and setbacks. Here's what's different about the resilience mindset. Crisis as opportunity. Every setback is seen as a chance to innovate and improve. When traditional paths are blocked, new ones are created. Anti-fragility. Instead of just surviving challenges, they use them to become stronger. Each crisis builds more resilience for the next one. Long-term perspective. Temporary setbacks don't derail long-term plans. They adjust tactics while maintaining strategy. Innovation through necessity. When normal methods don't work, they invent new ones. This has led to breakthrough innovations in business, finance, and technology. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, while many investors panicked and sold everything, wealthy Jewish families following these principles saw it as a buying opportunity. They used the crisis to acquire assets at discount prices. Lisa learned this lesson the hard way. When her first business failed, she saw it as proof she wasn't cut out for entrepreneurship. After studying resilience principles, she reframed the failure as education and launched her second business with the lessons learned. It's now generating $2 million annually. The mindset. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it faster than your competition. 6. Ethical business is the foundation of lasting wealth. In a world of get-rich-quick schemes and shady business practices, Jewish business ethics stand out like a beacon. The principle is simple. Ethical business isn't just morally right, it's financially smart. Here's why ethical business creates more wealth. Trust premium. Customers pay more and stay longer with businesses they trust. Ethical businesses can charge premium prices because their reputation is their competitive advantage. Referral networks. Satisfied customers become unpaid sales teams. Ethical businesses grow through referrals rather than expensive marketing. Long-term relationships. Instead of one-time transactions, ethical businesses build lifetime customer relationships. This creates predictable, recurring revenue. Crisis resilience. When scandals destroy unethical businesses overnight, ethical businesses weather storms because they have community support. Talent attraction. The best employees want to work for ethical companies. This creates a competitive advantage in hiring and retention. Example: Patagonia's commitment to environmental ethics has created a cult-like customer following. They charge premium prices, have incredibly loyal customers, and have built a billion-dollar brand based on values. James transformed his struggling consulting business by implementing radical transparency and ethical practices. He started sharing his failures openly, charged fair prices even when clients would pay more, and focused on long-term client success over short-term profits. His business grew 300% in 2 years through pure referrals. The strategy: build your reputation like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. 7. Think in generations, not quarters. Here's the biggest difference between wealthy families and everyone else: their time horizon. While most people plan for the next paycheck or maybe retirement, wealthy Jewish families plan for the next century. This generational thinking creates powerful wealth-building behaviors. Asset building over income. Instead of just earning money, they build assets that generate income for decades. Knowledge transfer. They systematically teach financial principles to the next generation, ensuring wealth isn't lost to ignorance. Institutional thinking. They create family businesses, trusts, and foundations that outlast individual lifespans. Delayed gratification. They'll sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's security, not just for themselves, but for their children and grandchildren. Real-world examples. Real estate. Instead of buying homes to live in, they buy buildings to generate rental income for generations. Education funds. They start college funds when children are born, not when they're 16. Business succession. Family businesses have detailed plans for passing ownership to the next generation. Investment philosophy. They choose investments that compound over decades, not months. The Rothschild family is the ultimate example. Starting in the 1700s, they built a banking empire that has lasted over 250 years and is still controlled by the same family. Their secret? Each generation was trained to think beyond their own lifetime. Tom applied this principle to his middle-class family. Instead of upgrading his lifestyle every time he got a raise, he invested the extra money in dividend-paying stocks and real estate. He started teaching his kids about money at age 5. Now, 20 years later, his investments generate enough passive income to cover his family's expenses, and his kids are already building their own wealth. The principle: plant trees whose shade you'll never sit in. Your descendants will thank you. Let's be clear about what we've discovered today. These aren't secrets locked away in some vault. These are principles that have been tested through thousands of years of economic ups and downs, persecution, and rebuilding. The 7 wealth principles. Wealth is a responsibility. Give yourself permission to build it. Education is inheritance. Invest in learning that lasts forever. Financial literacy starts early. Teach kids money habits, not just math. Community wealth lifts everyone. Build networks that build wealth. Resilience creates opportunity. Use setbacks as setups for comebacks. Ethics equal economics. Integrity is your competitive advantage. Think generationally. Build assets that outlast you. Here's what separates the wealthy from everyone else. They don't just apply one of these principles, they integrate all 7 into a complete wealth-building system. Most people will watch this video, nod along, and change nothing. They'll go back to their paycheck-to-paycheck lives, complaining about how the system is rigged, while ignoring the blueprint that's been proven for centuries. But you're different. You're here because you want to build something lasting. You want to create generational wealth that changes your family tree forever. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one principle from today's video and implement it this week. Not next month. Not when you have more money. This week. Start the 5-jar system with your kids. Join or create a business mastermind group. Commit to reading 1 financial book per month. Begin thinking about your 30-year wealth plan. The families who build generational wealth don't wait for perfect conditions. They start where they are with what they have right now. Which principle resonated most with you? Drop a comment below and tell us which one you're implementing first and what your biggest obstacle is. If this video opened your eyes to wealth principles you've never heard before, smash that like button and subscribe to the Millionaire Roadmap. We're building a community of people who refuse to accept financial mediocrity. Share this video with someone you want to build wealth with. These principles work best when entire families and communities adopt them together. Remember, you don't need to be born into wealth to build it. You just need to think like someone who was. Until next time, Keep your mind sharp, your habits strong, and your money moves generational.